Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Love and Light Show, where your special guest is Jane, and we're talking about relax, know, and trust today because we can relax because the answers are already inside of us, which is absolutely incredible. Know because we have incredible intuition and knowing, and we can trust and act from that knowing certain place in our inspired action throughout our lives. And we're going to do a beautiful process towards the end of breathing to really deepen that relaxation in our body. So I'm super excited for that and really encourage you guys to stay to the end. And I'm so excited to have Jane on today. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Very excited to do this. Anytime I can talk about the whole process is wonderful.
Beautiful. I'm so excited. And this is the Love and Light Show, where every Wednesday and now Fridays, we bring different light workers and coaches and healers and heart centered entrepreneurs to you guys at 1 Atlantic, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. So you guys have different ideas of tips and tricks and modalities and tools and strategies and healings that will support you on your journey so that you guys can show up and be the best version of yourself for yourself, first and foremost, and also for your friends and your family and your coworkers and your communities, so that we can all shine our light and be that change that we want to see in the world together. And I'm Laura McPhee. I'm a joyful goddess. I'm a speaker, healer, and coach, and I love empowering women through self-love and self-care and sexual empowerment so that they can live their dream lives now and stop putting it off and believing their excuses or limiting beliefs or stories that tell them that they're not good enough or pretty enough or smart enough or sexy enough or whatever enough yet, and that they have to put it off into someday in the future. And I'm really excited that I'm relaunching my From Broken to Blissful program. We did the first round and I absolutely loved the ladies and the transformations that they had. And I did another masterclass on Tuesday night. So I'll put the links in the comments below so you guys can get the replay for free. We went really deep into loving ourselves because it's so important to have that foundation of unconditional love in ourselves first and foremost, because we can't show up and give what we don't have. So if you're only loving yourself at like 40%, you're only showing up in the world loving your friends and your family and your children or your partner at 40% because you can never give what you don't have. So it's so important for us to serve ourselves first and be that overflow and shining light in our life, and also to heal our past, because unfortunately this day and age we're set up in a very traumatic society where there's so much stress and overwhelm, and especially the women who are coming out more and more with the Me Too movement. Like, there's so much sexual harassment and trauma that we have in our bodies that we need to release and let go of so that we won't have disease. So I love supporting women in releasing that. And then loving our relationships, loving our partners, showing up as that more loving person, checking in for ourselves, checking in with them, and being on the same page, because no one's a mind reader. It's so important for us to like take that time and really check in with ourselves and where we're at, and with all of our relationships, to have the most loving environment that we can. So I'm so excited for that. I'll be sure to put the comments below, and be sure to say hi to us as you're joining us live. We have 2 people on live now, and we can't see you on Be Live until you actually say hi. And definitely say hi if you're catching the replay. Feel free to tag any friends or share it with any family members who need to like take a break in their life and just relax and deepen their knowing and trust in their life in this world, and not be so like stressed out and chaotic around everything. This is going to be a very valuable lesson for them. So I'm so excited to get into this today, Jane. How do you help people in that relaxing piece and really deepening
Well,
it?
it all started with being a psychic medium
Mm,
and with the whole process of much like what you do in the empowerment. I
mm,
talked to spirits when I was in high school, and
mm.
the going downstairs and telling my mom, hey, spirits just talked to me. I think I almost just died. And of course,
Oh.
any parent wants to hear. And she told me, don't tell anybody, they'll think you're crazy. So
Right.
that didn't stop spirits from coming to talk to me. And
Mm,
I have a message for you because of it. So
mm,
what has transpired is really getting to know myself, getting to know other people, and that I have a message for you is we all have that information inside of us. And one
mhm,
for many years is advocated for others, and I worked in nonprofit management. I got my master's degree in counseling and have worked to really know myself and learn as much as I possibly could. And what happened is in 2014, when my brother passed away,
mm.
he came to me and said, I can tell you anything you want to know about your ability. And he showed
Yay.
me. Yeah, really. It was a real eye opener time for me
Mm,
because he said he showed me that I would be doing. readings for people. And up until that time, I was giving messages to people who hadn't asked for them. And
Right.
I'm a big believer in you have to want to. I say you got to want to.
Definitely. Mhm.
So when you're talking about people showing up 40%,
Mhm.
of being able to want to and want to, whether it's receive a message from someone on the other side, whether it's really let that light shine that you're talking about, and
Yes.
yourself. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, saying yes to life. That whole enthusiasm. So I was not aware that I could read people. And I had a friend
Mhm.
I told that my brother came through to me and told me this. And she said, I bet you could read people on purpose since like two. So from that moment, and that was in September of 2014, I started seeing my own energy worker.
Mhm.
I could learn to put boundaries around this.
Yeah.
So exciting because they're always positive messages.
Mhm.
You talk about a white light. I literally, it's like putting a white light around me, protecting me, and positive energy. It's all.
Mm.
So when you talk about love and light, when I first heard about your show, it's like, that's what this is about.
Yes.
Light and energy and all that positive within us.
Mhm.
So often in life, we get focused outside ourselves on what others expect of us and what others want to
Mhm.
do, that we forget to take that deep breath and let it out and really focus on what it is that we were born with and the information inside us, and that connects us all.
So beautiful. And it's like unfortunate how society's set up that we're so busy and we rarely are ever taught, let alone told or like reminded to take these breaths and breaks. And when I was first like into the like spiritual woo-woo stuff, I had to like put post-it notes up everywhere and have reminders on my phone and on my computer to like inhale peace, exhale love, take a break, like change your thought pattern here. Like to bring these new pauses into my day because I was so busy, 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 going super highly in my masculine all the time that I wasn't ever taking time to like breathe and check into myself and do the important work there.
Exactly. And I think that's all part of it. It's
Mm,
working with people who want to learn, people who really are feeling nudged. I call it the nudge.
yes.
If you have that sense like, oh, when I meet with people, I find they knew or
Mm,
will have a spiritual story of, well, when my mom died,
mm,
came and talked to me, or I knew the moment my dad died because I felt him, or grandma came to visit me. So, what I know from the work I do is that we all have that intuition.
yes.
Some people are more open to it than others, and I'm not telling anybody they have to do anything. I
Mm,
feel so fortunate to get to work with people who want to work with me.
yeah.
Getting messages before I understood that I could read people on purpose.
Mhm.
Like I'd get a message and I felt like the spirit was telling me, you have to go tell so and so such and such. And I hated it because it's like,
Mm.
no, because I didn't tell people I could do. Like you talk to spirits. How long have I known you? What do
Yeah.
you exactly right? You're right. I come from a big family and they're like, yeah, right. Okay, sure. Uh-huh. So and then I'd tell them something and they would like, well, the only way you could know that is if you talk to this person who passed. It's like, exactly.
Right.
So then it's like, okay, now start over. And then I'd start over. And I started thinking about like, are they going to believe me? Is it, all of that.
Mhm.
So the gift of having my ability acknowledged, and it's really interesting because some people embrace it and think it's so exciting and they wish they had this, and other people are just like, it just doesn't fit in their framework of how they see the world.
Right.
And that's okay.
Mhm. Very
That's
true.
okay.
And I love
So
how you brought up the, like, when people have grief in their life or when someone passes, that they can sometimes be more open to it, and it's so interesting because when my spiritual journey went into, like, hyperdrive and I decided to, like, quit corporate and dive deep into counseling and theta healing and my own coaching work so that I'd, like, clear all the bullshit that was happening in my life and the codependency and the toxicity in my life, it was right when my grandpa died. So I hadn't really like given
Ah,
I was like raised Christian and United Christian. So it was just like do unto others as you would have them do to you, like not super heavily into like what the thought of afterlife or what happens after you die. And when that happened, I feel like he was so supportive on the other side because he was like where the alcoholism had originally stemmed from. So I felt like it finally gave like space to like acknowledge that and acknowledge the habits that were in our lives and in our family that aren't the healthiest and the space to heal it and move forward. And it's so interesting that like that didn't originally click when it happened, but looking back with several different healers and friends, I've been like, yeah, like that was a huge catalyst because it also showed me death, like someone personal in my life dying, and how important it is to live our lives now and not put it off for forever. And to have that space to heal was just a huge gift.
and it is. It's the space, and I also say the time.
Mhm.
We rush through our lives. So how do you create that space? So I'm so glad you use that word because
Mm,
relax. It's taking that time, I'll usually say, but it's the space too. I'll talk
mm,
about creating a space for yourself that
yes.
you put yourself into because it helps you get into the time and the space and
Mhm.
make it in your life for yourself.
Yes.
Because especially women and many men, of course,
Mhm.
give, 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 give.
Yes.
So trying to carve out some time and space for yourself,
Mhm.
really difficult to do. And I understand that part of being human is we don't get to be perfect,
Mhm.
being perfectly ourselves in all our humanness and all our flaws.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so as we sink into that reality and accept, hey, I was made perfectly to be this way, and then
Mhm.
love myself the way I am, and realize I'm very lovable the way I am, flaws and all.
Yes. Mhm.
And then what would a loving, if I'm loving myself the way I am, wouldn't I take some time to relax, take a
Mhm.
step back, take that deep breath, and now really get to know what gifts I could be using instead of doing what everybody's telling me I should be doing.
Right.
And you take that space you were talking about, Laura,
Mhm.
space to really, oh, I could, this is why this makes sense. And
Mhm.
there's being all through life and growth. And for those who choose that, what a gift.
Mhm.
Changes the whole perspective. And a big part of what we do in Relax, Know, and Trust is really talk about, like, all of a sudden you can see all these things to be grateful for.
Yes.
My goodness, it's like you have new eyes.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my goodness. And I realize I get to see and hear things other people don't.
Mhm.
Or all of a sudden you see this much fuller picture,
Mhm.
being able to see what happens on the other side. You get to see how it makes sense over here. And the messages of love that go on is
Mhm.
all. And with Relax, Know, and Trust, we do start with a medium reading and
Beautiful.
process session because what would happen is someone get a medium reading and it would open up all these questions for them. It's like, oh my God,
Mhm.
this is so wonderful. And they would open up all these emotions and then all these questions.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, what happens next?
Right.
A lot of people didn't want to like pay for another session to process, and yet that's exactly what most people need slash want afterwards, this process, because oh my gosh, in that session, some psychics and mediums call it psychic amnesia. When they're sitting in that session, it's just like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, that is exactly what he would say. Oh my gosh, that's exactly how he used to talk.
Yeah.
Feel like he's sitting in the room with me, that it's such
Mhm.
an emotionally packed hour
Yeah.
that getting a week to think about that and process it, and then coming back together and talking about how that influenced you or how it impacted you,
Mm.
getting the nuggets out of that
Yeah.
is incredible. And then going into a journey where you're saying, okay, I'm ready to take that information I got and move forward with it and
Mhm.
then move inward with it is incredible. And that's why when I talk about feeling nudged or feeling ready or knowing you're ready,
Mhm.
people, people in their 20s are doing what they need to do in their 20s and grabbing hold of life and living life. And the people who gravitate toward what I do tend to be people who are 40, 45, 50,
Mhm.
their 70s and 80s. Because they're questioning. I've had people tell me, you know what, my mom's gone and she's been gone a long time, but it's almost like I need her more now that I'm aging than I like I needed her when I was younger.
Mm.
So as they're asking these questions, and I'm saying, yes, the answers are inside, and yet having that support, like you talked about in your situation,
Mhm.
their side means so much as you're journeying because it gives that space and time of knowing that we're not only supported here in our journey,
Mhm.
working with like-minded people who get it, because
Mhm.
it's hard to walk into your life and start talking about, oh my gosh, I just talked to grandma. And you know what?
Some people are more open to it than others.
And then you people who get it and they are as excited for you as you are to say,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Mm.
I'm so happy for you. Oh my gosh, yes, by all means, go do this other thing you're called to do at this point in your life.
Mhm.
In their 70s, that they're going to live for another 20 years. And
Yeah.
by all means, help people with this gift, not gift, gifts you have.
Mhm.
Do it.
Mhm.
So when it's relax, know, and trust the soul journey experience.
Mhm.
That everyone walking around on earth realizes we are souls.
Yeah.
We're on a journey. And those of us who do, how can you not be happy and joyful?
Mhm.
Realizing, oh my gosh, I get to do this. I
Yeah.
get to do this. And
Mhm.
why would I not optimize how I'm going to do it?
Mm.
And even though the answer is yes, they are inside, having somebody walk with you and
Mhm.
with you doing it. So the soul journey experience, for those who don't know, psychic readings, medium readings work online. When
Ooh.
I didn't even know that, but I have read
Mhm.
in Florida, in Colorado,
Mhm.
Ona, online. It's
Awesome.
energy.
Mhm.
What you were talking about, Laura, energy.
Mhm. It's so powerful. We're all connected to this oneness.
And that's what I talk about. It's so much love when I'm
Mhm.
doing that just comes out.
Yeah.
People who weren't real demonstrative when they were alive, people go, that doesn't sound like my dad. And it's not. However, their motive for doing it is supporting the journey
Mm.
that they'll say, or the lessons that they'll talk about that they're continuing to work on from the other side.
Mm.
Incredible. It's
Mhm.
just incredible. So
Awesome.
as the journey, there are parts of it that are private and personal, like the reading and the process.
Mhm.
But then we talk about the relax and the different activities as a group, and
Mhm.
have a couple weeks to go practice that kind of thing, and then come back and discuss it together.
Awesome.
And knowing, I redefine the words because they fit for what this is. Knowing is
Mhm.
to be certain in your soul.
Yes. Mhm.
And when you talk about this kind of thing, there's times you've known stuff. And I am talking
Mm.
about the intuition part when you're just so sure about something and you can't explain it to somebody else.
Yes.
You know, you quit your corporate job. Tell me,
Mhm.
you
That
quit
was
your
incredible.
corporate job.
Yeah, I knew that I was meant to help people, and when I was younger, I was always loving teaching people, and I was a Sunday school teacher for, like, 4 years and had my own class, and, like, I was always about teaching and giving love to other people, and then accounting was what my family did, and it seemed stable for income, and financial stability and security seemed like a super important thing, so I was like, "Yeah, maybe when I'm in my 40s or 50s, I'll be able to do what I love," and people. But until then, I'm building a huge financial nest egg because that's what life's about, being successful. And then when I realized that I was going on a very similar path to people that were in my team and that I was friends with who were in my coworker group, that they were going through their like midlife crisis of burnout and stress and the toll that it's had on their body and their friendships and their career and their family. And they gave me the gift of being like, you're going in the same path as us. Like, don't choose this. Like, come to this workshop and let's learn these things and find out about crystals and be a little bit happier. And it opened me up to this whole world, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me, and I've been a healer in many lives, and it just all came through, and I'm very grateful that the universe supported me. I kept feeling called to make those big leaps, and the universe kept being right there to move me forward way faster than I ever thought this would ever happen.
And if I may say, into joy. What I see is joy.
Definitely.
And to me, again, there is nothing wrong with being financially, living in a home and almost.
Mhm.
However, the part where you say the universe supported you.
Yes.
I was in a management job, and the practical thing, and I did save my money for a while. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
There was a nest egg, and I got so many weeks of vacation paid out and all those things when I quit my management job. However, the work I do is energy work.
Yes.
To have my energy up to be able to do it. And I was traveling along driving, which is not a calming thing for me. I know people who love to drive, and that's
Mhm.
for them. For me, that's stressful. And I was driving around the state,
Mm.
different offices, and working on contracts,
Mm.
all these things that were energy depleting.
Yeah.
And to try and do energy work when I was done with that was just not a good thing. And
Mm.
and the working on your no, developing that relationship where you hear whatever you call your higher power, your God.
Mm.
I call it the no, but for me,
Mm.
and building that relationship to a point that you are certain in your soul.
Yes.
I'm writing and saying, what am I supposed to do? Here I am again doing three people's jobs. They just don't hire people that's
Mm.
going to handle it all. And it's like, what am I going to do? And then God says, you could fly and nobody would stop you.
Awesome. Mm.
And it's like, before I could even ask the questions, and what would you do for money? You already live in a nicer house than you ever thought was possible.
Mhm.
Bedroom, 2.5 bath. We're not talking a mansion or anything. I mean, it's a nice house, but it's not. We live in the suburb. It's not like,
Mhm.
there's no swimming pool. There's no, you already
Not
have
yet.
mustard garden. No, yeah, not yet. Yeah, when I have the retreat house, yeah, that
Mhm.
will be a pool. It'll be on the Gulf of Mexico. That's what my manifestation is
Yes.
going to be, because I can share
I
it with the
love it.
world then.
Yes.
Because then I can share it with the world. That's my manifestation, is to be able to
Mhm.
other people also find that. And for me, it's the ocean.
Yes, I love that. Mhm. It's
Yes.
so
All
infinite. Like,
things.
whenever I'm in front of, like, the ocean, it's just like you're this little speck in the grand scheme of things, and we're all connected to this incredible energy, and we can just go with the flow and trust, like you're talking about,
Yes.
which is so
Yes.
important.
So it's all of that, and understanding that the answers are within,
Mhm.
open to hearing those, and then that trust to act on them,
Yes.
to act and know it's the right thing. And
Mhm.
some people were, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And other people are like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. and again, it is what it is. And
Mhm.
it is so right. And I have learned so many things, and I will be a lifelong learner.
Mhm. Yeah.
A area where every person I meet teaches me something. They're so
Mhm.
incredible to me. I
Yeah.
am blessed and humbled by the fact that I get to see into their, um, the spirit that comes through it. I still call them people, because I mean, they come through and they talk like they
Yeah.
on earth, so that people here would recognize them. And
Mhm.
it's incredible. I'm constantly
Mhm.
learning, and the strength of that and what comes through and how the journey developed. One, like I said, I have walked where I lay out for other people. God,
Yeah.
you could fly and no one would stop you. I knew it was he had said. My mantra was relax, know, and trust. When
Yeah.
I am in the moment, everything's okay
Mhm.
to do the next right thing.
Mhm.
From there, when I was doing readings, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a
Mhm.
work to go with it for it.
Yay.
Exactly. It's so exciting. I'm in a workbook. I'm in a writing group and
Awesome.
feedback on it. And the um I lost my train of thought. And
Doing the workbook and
writing
writing
it.
the book.
Oh, so I was doing a reading for somebody and she said, "What comes next?" And I said, "Funny you would ask because this is what I'm working towards." Just I'm in.
Awesome.
And it's like, "Well, it's not done yet. Workshop's not done yet." She goes, "Well, that's okay. I'm in." And she had already signed up to do the reading and then come back for the process session.
Beautiful.
When she was back the next week, I had the 10 points out, and several other people said, "Yeah, that's
Mm.
what I'm supposed to do." And I said, "Well, it's the first time, so you guys get it like at half price." So, did it and worked with me while I learned how to do Zoom, which is kind of like what we're doing now, different,
Mhm.
but and we did it and it gave people confidence they didn't have before.
Mhm.
It brought them joy they didn't have before.
I love that.
The relaxing, the gratitude, the just
Mm.
that they're where they need to be on their life path. It's incredible.
Yes.
And I'm looking at the time. Do we want to start the relax?
Yes, definitely. I know we could go on and on forever. I love this topic so much. So let's everyone take a second out of your day and give yourself this
Yes.
beautiful gift of relaxing. I know I can sometimes be guilty of like listening to things while I'm doing other stuff. So this is the time that you can take as a gift for yourself. So take it away.
Yes. And I would say take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being. And again, take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being. And it's important as you do this to say those words to yourself, to take the deep breath, take it in through your nose, let it out slowly, and ease into well being. Continue to do it while I explain why we do it the way we do it. The idea is you are giving your body permission to be well as you take that deep breath. And you want to be aware of where your breath is going. Many people have a tendency to hold their breath and not let the air go all the way down to your abdomen. So please, on this next one, make sure the air goes all the way down to your abdomen or down into your stomach, and make sure your stomach expands as you take that air in, and then let it out slowly and ease into well being. If you're a person who has a tendency to hold their shoulders up like I do, you want to make sure you drop your shoulders and ease into well being. As you take your next breath, let it out slowly, ease into well being, and see if you can relax your arms and your legs and feel that go all the way down to your fingers and toes and ease into well being. Take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being. As you practice this and you say the words, it helps your mind focus on your breath, where your breath is going, where the relaxation of your muscles are, down your shoulders, down your arms, down your legs. You can practice this anywhere, anytime. That's the beauty of it. Think about where in your day relaxing on cue, by yourself, by just telling yourself and walking yourself through it. Take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being can help you. For some people, right before going to sleep, emptying the mind and feeding your mind and your body the words to relax. For other people, they wake up and their mind starts with the chatter of what they need to do for the day, putting it into relax mode. For others, at mealtime, so that their system relaxes so that they can ease into well being. If you think about the number of times you work with other people, that situations can arise. And for me, I can feel that. But I used to work and be like, you gotta be kidding. To be able to take that and just take that step back, or they talk about taking a pause. If in your own mind you're saying, take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being, you can let those things slide right in front of you, almost like you took the step back and you're easing into well being while all the rest of it slides in front of you. In the process of relax, know, and trust, this is the base relaxation, leaning back instead of leaning into all of the things that occur. It's giving yourself permission to lean back instead of leaning into. It's taking that space for yourself that says, it's okay. I deserve time. I deserve space. It's 5 minutes before bed. It's 5 minutes in the morning. It's 5 minutes at the coffee break or between projects where I can take that deep breath, let it out slowly, and ease into well being. The know piece that comes next is to really take that time and develop it even further so that you're certain in your soul. It's getting those feet on the floor, feeling grounded, and moving it into the next phase, because the trust piece is acting on what you know. You're certain in your soul and you're able to act on what you know. There are sub pieces to it, because in the know part, you will learn things. However, there will also be exploration you need to do, treasure you will find in yourself along the way as you explore your perfectly imperfect self that is totally lovable and has been from the very beginning. So take that deep breath, come back to where you are, carry that relaxation with you through the day. Know that you can contact me at jane@ihaveamessageforyou.net. Contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on my webpage, ihaveamessageforyou.net. I do readings. I am doing a journey this summer that all the work is done on Zoom. So it's the process, the workshop, and it's at a discounted rate of $697, so that, and everything will be recorded, not your individual group thing. So even if somebody weren't able to do it at 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, it would be recorded so you could pick it up. Again, that whole idea that everything would be relaxed. And like, oh no, I couldn't make it this Tuesday. It would be relaxed and settled and available.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That feels amazing in my body. And your voice, your energy is just so soothing and beautiful. And I really encourage you guys to go follow her links. Can you put some of those in the comments below for them?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Awesome. You can do that after the show. And just thank you so much. Thank you everyone for tuning in and taking that time out of your day to give yourself that gift of deep relaxation and to create space in your life for more and more of this. That we can all be holding space for all the other people in this world and shine as leaders who are relaxed and who are in their peace and their presence and their power. And Tammy just shared, wow, when you said to step back, I just saw and felt all this stuff just land in front of me, taller than myself. I feel a lot lighter. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Tammy.
Thanks, Tammy.
And I really encourage everyone else who's live or on the replay to also share your experience if you're feeling called to. Share it with a friend who needs this energy in their life. And thank you for making the Love and Light Show a weekly habit in your life and expanding and showing up to be that light in your life. So I'm sending you guys all so much love.